because they need the damage. They're in that statue situation. No other team is going to allow them to deal damage to them at all. They're just going to be hiding, turtled up inside their boxes. And now it's going to be unfortunate completely. Another situation where Surge is the demise of Dox and Skies.
And I think these guys got their GPS settings installed incorrectly because they are on the wrong side of Storm here. There's so many players on this northern side. And even Benji and Savage a little bit later this rotate. Look how many players there are on this edge. This can be a tough one. They're going to have to use a lot of material count. But, you know, Savage with that 200 IQ, going to be very smart going along this ridge line, you know, cutting off line of sight, being unpredictable. Maybe he had a little bit of mind games there too. He showed himself to the left, went right to the right side. And he's a bit of a magician act here from Savage. You know, trying to confuse an opponent. Unfortunately, though, gonna get sprayed from below here. Needs to be a little bit careful. And now is the time for them to just be careful, just to wait. It is mellow time. You do not want to be editing when there's so many players around you. You want to wait for these metal walls to fully build out before you make any sort of moves. And I don't want to call the zone, but it is going to actually pull towards the right side. So away from the water, thankfully for them. And we are going to be saved here from another water zone here, Shayo.
Question is, are there any pads for Savage and Benji to maybe bounce on and have an easier way inside zone? I see that Anas has one inside his inventory. If that's the case, and once again, we're in the desert. We saw who the Pharaohs were last game, right? Anas and Pink. They stayed up top. They let that family lineage kind of rock from zone to zone to zone to zone. No one could really dethrone them. And they're looking to do it again. An armored wall available for Anas as well. So if anyone tries to go for that chop down, that spray all the way upwards, he has that extra layer of protection and another beam inside the box. So not only looking for height right now, Boot, they're aware of every single edit going on around them.
Yeah, so what they're basically doing in this position is trying to hold as many people away from them on this high ground, right? Because if you shoot at players that are trying to rotate near you, they're not going to box it below. They're going to try to rotate away from you in this position. So what that's basically going to do, it's going to set you up to have less of a chance of someone sneaking up towards high ground if you do pull half and half here. And I want to talk about the inventory just a little bit. They had 12 Church Passion. I believe they have 6 more in the inventory of Anas there. So what what these guys love to do sometimes, they like to, you know, sneak up below high ground and try to take it away that time. So maybe if I get a few fortress zone pulls, you might see them make a storm play with those chug splashes because they're very variable. You know, they can heal you up when you're in trouble, but they also are there for those big IQ plays on high ground.
Absolutely. Right now, you might have to toss IQ straight into the bin. Savage and Benji have to just use their feet. Stop thinking. Start moving. Spice is also in effect, so they move at double the speed. Question is, though, if you do end up going the wrong way, that's double the mistake that happens as well. You're talking about the right, left, the elasticity, the bounce back of this team. They're really making the move, showing themselves off to the right, sticking to the left. I like that call-out boot, but now they're stuck between walls. They can't really edit through, and it's metal after the fact as well. The peppers are not going to make your pickaxes swing faster. You have to just keep going, and they're getting focused still.
And that's the least of their issues here. 250 below Surge. I don't know where they're going to jump in on. I mean, there's going to be a team nearby, but by the time they're actually into zone, they're going to lose all of their material count. They barely have any hard mats. 160 metal.
Oh, no.
There's a team behind this wall. They don't know. Maybe Savage does know. Oh, and he gets taken out there by a team hiding. He did read it correctly to Savage. Where? But Benji is 2v1 now. He's still alive somehow. 9 more builds, 7 builds now. He needs to be careful, but I mean, it was all done. It was a valiant effort for Benji, but he's still alive actually. Okay, he's sneaking up. He's being covert, and this player is on low HP. He does get the wall behind him. I don't think this player realizes. Sneaks back through. And does he know it? But Surge, he does know he's there. And Surge is going to take him out. 24 HP and he cannot heal up anymore. Surge is going to be the one who takes up Benji and finally somehow survived the absolute anarchy there of multiple players in this box. But there's one thing that is true, and Storm Surge eliminates all.
Absolutely. You can't build past it. You can't hide away from it. And he was out of mats too. Unfortunate. Art skill, that POV we just dipped towards. That's going to be second place, looking to take that gold beam and add it towards their inventory to have that luxury. There is no first place team alive right now who can take that title.
Yeah, and if you look at the half-nap zone here, zone actually does pull, I believe, on top of Pink and Anna. So all of that setup they did prior to set up the high ground is probably now going to be good for them. I'm not sure what layer they're on. I think they're close by, but like I said, you know, you do not need to go crazy on high ground in this half-nap, Shayo.
Absolutely not. 68 points right now. They basically want to clasp all the way up towards 90. If they get 100 in this game, that'll be absolutely huge. But that means they have to survive the entire time. If we could just stay on this POV, I want to see exactly how they break it down. They will be going for right here. They have 2 different pads as well. Can they hold on to being the finessers of this zone entirely? 23 till we see where exactly moves, but I'm liking the fact that they're staying low-key right now.
Yeah, and don't expect them to go for high ground initially, right? They're not going to be going to high ground in first moving. If they do that, I'll sound very stupid, but I don't think they should do that, right? They both have multiple launch pads in their inventory.
Why should they not?
So basically, the reason why you don't want to do it is because you want to use those launch pads effectively, right? If you have 3 launch pads in your inventory, you're going for high ground into first moving, you're basically using materials that you would have saved with those launch pads. Exactly. And with zone pulling far away from them, yet again, they're going to have more time to launch pad, and that's going to be good for them here, Shayo.
Absolutely. Irazumi, very same position. Might not have multiple launch pads, but they have 80 points so far. They might not be controlling high ground completely like Pink and Anas, but they've been consistent over their last 2 games. Now in the 3rd game, they have a spot to even steal that lead from Benji and Savage, and it's about 12 points ahead of Pink and Anas from what we saw before. Irazumi even pops that spicy pepper, a little bit of a speedier glide. We'll see exactly how this looks down. They've checked up top, and what a way to pad past all those builds on a single floor, blocking him through there. High and mighty inside the sky. They go straight for that forward position. We see so many teams in good spots all the way towards that first, and Irazumi and leader. They're not all the way towards the low ground. They have no people next to them either. This is such a good spot.
Yeah, they're in a very good spot. They do have those peppers popped as well. And if we go back towards Pink and Anas, you can see they're holding out. And like I mentioned, they're going to launch pad very slowly towards the front side. Launch pad yet again. And now they're going to evaluate. Is this a good time to take high ground? And it doesn't look like it because there's a lot of people pretty much set up yet. So they can wait until that second moving. And then if second moving pulls north, for example, then they're going to have a lot of materials because they're able to save those materials with those launch pads. So I'm hoping to see a north zone pull because it's going to be a launch pad towards height in the second moving zone here, Shaya.
Absolutely. De facto first place right now will be Artskill and T-Chips up inside the box. They're desperate to find any damage. 79 below. They might be in first. They might have 93 points, but that 95 below threshold is the number that matters, and they changed it up. Rewrite their destinies. 360 above, or 63 above, excuse me. They're still trying to find some type of damage. It might get close to 360 with the way this damage is going right now. They dodged the first few strikes of Surge as well as Stompy finds a few more in the feed. Chulex down. Mustache taken out by Endless and Squeeze. They're side by side, but it's Stompy going all the way up towards the skies. Nailu has to be forced to drop down. 536 damage above for this team. They Spider-Man their way all the way forward as well. They stop another height take too. The denial is insane.
And you got to be careful. If you're fighting on the backside of zone, there's going to be another team towards the front side that's trying to take it away from you. Juice smartly Spider-Man towards the front side, but they get chopped down. And oh, they do reconnect though, but is the damage done? I don't know. They only have 4 more builds in total, and here comes Pink. Like I mentioned, if you're fighting on the backside of zone, you're going to be using a lot of materials, and Pink's been able to save it this entire game here, Shayo. 26 builds left, and they have it into this 8th moving zone.
Oh, they take out Stompy, and Pink is still active and alive. The aim electric, the bullet's magnetic, and they're not missing. This is just insane. Anas is there too at the very front of it, applying the pressure that Pink is making as well. He's making sure not a single edit can be made upwards. Mappy's kind of trapped. Seti's right below him too, so they're being forced into a pinch as well. T-Chips though, still in first, taking down Link. Finally, Endlex takes him down, so that might be the first place team. Not active either. They were close to 95, 98 points. It's 80 so far, but Seti too is also popping up. Picks out Mappy, he survives the pinch, and this is where trouble starts.
And I think we're going to get 2 in a row here from Pink and Anas because the zone pulls back over old builds, right? So they have, even though the material count is very, very limited, they're going to be able to stay on top of them, and no one's really going to pressure them because they're all going to go through Shayo.
Absolutely. Seti, though, this is going to be another clutch situation. We saw Janus do it before, but he's out of mats, and unfortunately goes down towards the front side. It'll be Endless next Squeeze that picked that one up. 26th place for them overall, but they're looking really good. And Austin Pink, again, it's like just walking a dog or something. It's just so simple for them. Every time, business as usual when it's the desert. These guys make sure everyone else is just low and dry. Pink, once again, another launch forward, and he secures another spot of the high ground.
And it is a game of numbers, right? Even the small launch pad there, you know, it's only 2 to 3 blocks, but every single build counts here. When you go into that final moving zone, that one build might just save them as you have 7 duels left alive, Shayo.
Absolutely. Flixie now, he's going to be in trouble. You're talking about every single build. They only have about 6 left. Pick up a few more on the left side. Armored Wall buys them a little bit of time, but it's time that's going to be translated into money, into points right now. The longer you stay alive, the more placement you're going to get, and they're trying to milk every single second so far. Up top is where the roof comes crashing down, and Flixie is the one to pick up all the mats left around. This is going to be huge for them. Dodging even more sprays. This man has like a shield bubble around him. There's no way he's taking no damage from all this pressure. Right now he's looking down. Lands another big shot. Surge doesn't matter right now. It's only about getting these eliminations and staying alive ahead. Inside this feed, a big one from the heavy shotgun slug. It comes straight in. No, it's a pump, but it doesn't even matter. The damage is true. Nailu still alive right now. The Siftos also getting a few picks, and they're going all the way up for high ground 3.
my squad. I'm rolling good. When I spot it, it looked like food. Let's go eat it. Let's go and see. And when I did, it ate me. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. superpower. I'll never know. I just devour and keep on munching and crunching. You know the gumballs keep coming, and so the loot keeps on dropping. You know we never be stopping, so just enjoy. I tell ya, I gotta eat 'em. It's what I do. I gotta get more every day and put 'em where they gonna stay, and so should you. Gotta know. It could happen anytime, so be alert and beware the dreaded gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum. It was a gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum. It was a gumball. I'm rolling good. When I spot it, it looked like food. Let's go eat it. Let's go and see. And when I did, it ate me. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum. It was a gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum. It was a gumball. Superpower, I'll never know. I just devour and keep on munching and crunching. You know the gumballs keep coming, and so the loot keeps on dropping. You know we never be stopping, so just enjoy. I tell ya, I gotta eat 'em. It's what I do. I gotta get more every day and put 'em where they gonna stay, and so should you. Gotta know. It could happen anytime, so be alert and beware the dreaded gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum. It was a gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum. It was a gumball. I'm rolling good. When I spot it, it looked like food. Let's go eat it. Let's go and see. And when I did, it ate me. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum. It was a gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum. It was a gumball. Superpower, I'll never know. I just devour and keep on munching and crunching. You know the gumballs keep coming, and so the loot keeps on dropping. You know we never be stopping, so just enjoy. I tell ya, I gotta eat 'em. It's what I do. I gotta get more every day and put 'em where they gonna stay, and so should you. Gotta know. It could happen anytime, so be alert and beware the dreaded gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum. It was a gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum. It was a gumball. I'm rolling good. When I spot it, it looked like food. Let's go eat it. Let's go and see. And when I did, it ate me. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. Gum gum gum. It was a gumball. and see. And when I did, it ate me. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. Gum gum gum. It was a gumball. Is it a curse? Superpower? I'll never know. I just devour and keep on munching and crunching. You know the gumballs keep coming, and so the loot keeps on dropping. You know we never be stopping, so just enjoy. I tell ya, I gotta eat 'em. It's what I do. I gotta get more every day and put 'em where they gonna stay, and so should you. Gotta know, it could happen anytime, so be alert and beware the dreaded gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. Gum gum gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball.
Skill as well, 143 points. Now, once again, you've kind of seen that clutch, that solo clutch factor. We've talked about it all last year, and we're seeing it here once again, right? Mr. Savage, he didn't necessarily get the victory out. He didn't get a ton of eliminations, 11, but what he needed to do was secure that top 5, right? Because those points, they do matter.
Yeah, nah. And look, I'll be real. I said at the start of the show I was predicting them because of the hope, but this is going beyond hope now, right? This is a real possibility coming into these last 2 games, and you know, I hope they can sort of hold on to this. I hope there's no choking involved whatsoever, because everything is setting up well for them. Of course, we talked about their POI tilt. It's a great spot. Don't have to worry about the zone variation too much. So as long as they can stay how they've played so far, hopefully they will be in that top 8 by the end.
Yeah, remember I said the qualification threshold was 132 points last week? Well, guess what? Or qualifier 1, they're already on 132 now. But in first before this was Pink and Anas. They were in that first place slot. We saw them now drop down till 6th place just from losing out in that one game, right?
That's right. I can't. It's coming down to the wire here. You know, with 2 games left, some duo is going to turn this entire qualifier to on it and
was so
shake
rough.
things, dude. It was.
This
I mean,
was so rough because he doesn't get the siphon, because I think Vino in the distance gets the elimination and steals it away from him. So he could have actually maybe survived that, but he just barely missed on the elimination. You hate to see that kind of thing, man.
it's rough, man. Sometimes it just be like that. It's Fortnite. Some things will happen. Duels will rise and others will fall. But you guys heard that battle bus, which means we're getting ready to jump aboard once again. 2 more games before we wrap up the day in Europe. So for now, let's send it back on over with Boop and Shy Wager for game number 5.
Game number 5. This is where, if you're on the bottom of the leaderboard, it's time to rise up. You only have one more chance to get your name into the pot before it gets pulled on that final tally on the leaderboard. If you're on top of that ladder, it's time to play defense. That's T-Chips, Art Skill, that's Benji and Mr. Savage, PKR, Mappy, bunch of teams that are there past that 100-point threshold and want to hold on.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy still. You can still do it in 2 games. The point difference between that top 8 position and about 20th place is about 30 points. So basically 1 victory royale will put yourself up there. So it is still everything to play for. And everyone at the top, you can't get too comfortable unless your name is T-Chips and Art Skill, because you can still be knocked out of that top 8 as we go back to the absolute anarchy that is Chonkers, I feel like. And I mean, it's already over before it even starts there, as they get eliminated. Swilliam and Lecce, you know, finally winning it out again. I think they're doing a little bit better compared to last week, which is, you know, it's always good to see improvement from them. We always love to see Lecce on top, Shayo.
Absolutely. I feel like I have like a morning routine now with these games as well. I got to start watching Floki and Clement get bopped. More action on Chonkers until we move on past that as well. But you can see across like all the regions we're looking at right now, it's Bugha and Miro, two big names, right, from NA East that are rolling in with success in Chonkers and really moving on to the next portion of the competition. That might just change a little bit inside semifinals. We'll see exactly what breaks down before these qualifiers right now. It is very difficult to kind of get out of here and claim the spot entirely.
Yeah, I wonder if Bugha and Miro were uncon in Chonkers. I'm not too sure about that, but in EU there are so many teams at Chonkers, so that statistic makes a lot of sense, right? Everyone's a piece of those coolers, and you know, if that happens, then obviously the teams that are landing there aren't going to do that well because they're all trying to fight out for that loot. Let's you hear with that nice little heavy shotgun popping through, and that is Floki and Clement's game done very, very swiftly.
Wow, okay, so Gore's also rolling in. Stena and Rayad taking out a team that's also very defensive off of spawn, especially in duos. Getting cracked. You don't usually see that every single game from them. So the aggression on the north side is still really reigning forward. The question is, what do things look like now? But we're talking about patterns, maybe getting aggressive a little bit too early on inside these games. Is game 4 a good time to chomp down on the duo that's contesting you? Benji and Savage thought so. And right now, that might be trouble for them because Deceptos and Kinzel, they might clap back.
Yeah, I think game 5, I mean, obviously Kinzel and Deceptors, they could be very emotional about this, right? They could try to fight back towards Benji and Savage, but these guys, I don't think that's within them. I don't think they need to do that. They're in 9th place right now. If they were a little bit further behind, I feel like they would make more drastic decisions in that position, but being just off that edge, that has to do something to you psychologically. You have to feel that pressure to not mess up in the early game, so there's no point to push out this, Io.
Absolutely, you want to just stay secure, and I'm liking that pattern as well from Pink, Anas, and every team at Covert Cavern this game as well. It's really fun to watch though, because one slip up there on the mountain, you're straight up into another duel's box, and those are some high placing teams.
With my squad, I'm rolling good. When I spot it, it looked like food. Let's go eat it. Let's go and see. And when I did, it ate me. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. Gum gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. Gum gum gum. It was a gumball. Is it a curse or superpower? I'll never know. I just devour and keep on munching and crunching. You know the gumballs keep coming, and so the loot keeps on dropping. You know we never be stopping, so just enjoy. I tell ya, I gotta eat 'em. It's what I do. I gotta get more every day and put them where they gonna stay, and so should you. Gotta know, it could happen anytime, so be alert and beware the dreaded gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. with my squad. I'm rolling good. When I spot it, it looked like food. Let's go eat it. Let's go and see. And when I did, it ate me. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum 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 gum. It was a gumball. Is it a curse or superpower? I'll never know. I just devour and keep on munching and crunching. You know the gumballs keep coming, and so the loot keeps on dropping. You know we never be stopping, so just enjoy. I tell ya, I gotta eat 'em. It's what I do. I gotta get more every day and put 'em where they gonna stay, and so should you. Gotta know. It could happen anytime, so be alert and beware the dreaded gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gum gum gum. It was a gumball. It was a gumball. It was a gum gum gum. Gum gum gum. It was a gumball.